Ako si Mark Lopez and my program is Pugad Vloggers, aired every Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sa Radyo Bandido, TV simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Sa Sky Cable, Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Also, sa facebook.com, DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and our official YouTube channel.
Pugad Vloggers, ang maraming titirisin, salot sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers. Pugad Vloggers.
All right, it's Friday night again. It's October 7th, 2022. Ngayon yata yung 99th day, if I'm not mistaken, of the Marcos administration. So, tingnan natin, no? Kasi merong isang survey na lumabas by Pulse Asia, no, that will show his performance on matters on at least 13 topics, no, where at makikita rin natin dito yung ano yung pinaka-importanteng mga issue sa taong bayan, no. Let me just bring that up. One moment. There we go. Yun. Ito, okay. Okay, so pag-usapan natin yung this was done noong September 17 to 21, no? I'm not sure kasi that time wala pa hindi pa I'm not sure when Carding hit, no? I think that's sometime in the last week of September, no? I think that was bandang ano, no? So I think that was 28 or 27, no? So hindi pa hindi pa apektado masyado dito ang responding to the needs of to areas affected by calamities. Although there was a very strong earthquake nung couple of months ago doon sa Abra, no? If you remember, very strong earthquake, maraming mga nasira na building, merong mga basketball court na or gyms or public gyms na maraming bitak, no? Ganon din yung mga churches which are several hundred years old na damaged din, no? So nagpadala naman ng mga relief goods at saka may dumating din ng mga rescue, so from the DILG, no? So that was the first disaster, no? From in the last 100 days, no. Although itong si Carding is very recent, no. So ang ano lang nating basehan lang at that time is yung earthquake sa Abra, no. So but I think it was they also did well, no, atong rescue and relief effort, no. And I remember the 5 Bulacan rescuers. Kasi ang tigas ng ulo, no? Pinapa-evacuate, ayaw mag-evacuate, tapos ngayon humingi ng tulong. So, unfortunately, the 5 rescuers nadaganan ng pader na nag-collapse sa kanila. So, and I think meron ding maraming dumating na tulong sa napakalawak na lugar na apektado ni Carding, no? So may mga police at saka yung mga firemen. Yung mga firemen, they're better at rescue, no? Sa mga pulis naman, they will help in whatever way they can, and pati na rin ng peacekeeping, law enforcement, no? And tumulong din yung PAGCOR, no? And dumating din yung mga relief goods mula sa DSWD. So meron talagang I think the response to the Carding, no, is I think it's very good, no? Although it's not perfect, no, I'd say, but it's pretty good, no? So I suppose ngayon wala na masyadong hindi na humupa na yung baha doon, no? Sa affected areas like the Bulacan and Nueva Ecija, no? Likewise yung Quezon province where naglandfall, no, si Carding. But let's see here, 78% approval, 19% undecided, and disapproved 3%. So yung net approval rating on this responding to the needs of areas affected by calamities, it is a plus 75, no, net approval rating, no. So that scored very high, although nung tinatanong tungkol urgent issue, wala namang hindi nakarating, no, sa percentage, no. Wala masyadong sumagot na ganyang ka-importante. Although I'm sure it's important, no. It's just that it's not important to the entire country, no. Kasi pag may calamity, usually it's only a certain province or certain region lang tatamaan. So okay, yung sumunod na issue is controlling the spread of COVID-19, no. At this point, the pandemic is still there, but it's no longer as potent as it used to be, no. We're no longer seeing yung time na dumating yung alpha, beta, and delta, no. Delta was very I think delta was the deadliest of them all, no. Maraming I have a few friends and acquaintances who passed on because of itong Delta. And then the Omicron came in with very contagious, but in terms of bagsik, no, hindi siya bagsik ng Delta, but although meron ding mga namatay sa Omicron, but the Delta was the most terrible of them all. Although ngayon, it seems that because of marami nang nabakunahan, no, fully vaccinated, may booster pa ng dalawa, no. So the resistance level is higher, and if ever tamaan ka, usually lang yun, mild symptoms. Pinaka worst na yung medyo moderate symptoms. So 5% ng mga tao na tinanong, which is about, I think this is 1,500 people ang tinanong dito, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, no. So yun. So 5% of those interviewed thought it was important, no. But ito, no, 78% approved. Again, 19% undecided, but this time 4% disapproved, for a net approval rating of about 74 plus 74 yung kanyang net approval rating ni President Marcos administration. Okay, sumunod, no? Protecting the welfare of OFWs. No? Let's take a look. No? sa mga naitanong, is this one of the most three most urgent issues? Well, actually, apat lang ang, apat na porsyento lang, 4% lang ang sumagot na one of the three most urgent issues. No? So, approval is about 68%. Undecided is 29 and 3% disapprove for a net approval rating of plus 65%. No, this is protecting the welfare of OFWs. I believe naman na there is something being done. No, bumibisita naman si President BBM, no, sa mga ating mga OFW tuwing pumupunta siya sa ibang bansa, no. It started with Indonesia. He visited the Filipino OFW community there, no. Ganon din sa Singapore. At pati na rin dun sa New Jersey in his recent state visit or the visit to the UN, no. Pero bago siya tumuloy sa UN, na lumapag muna aeroplano niya sa New Jersey, no. So he met with OFWs there, and yung pinuntahan niyang Formula 1, meron ding discussion on the sidelines. Hindi lang puro talaga mga ilang nasa kabilang parlo. Puro saya lang daw ang ginagawa, no. Meron, may pinag-usapan tungkol sa manpower and labor, no, with Tan Sileng, may pictures pa, no. And there, of course, there are billionaires who can be investors. Ang kala lang nila, bad optics. Hindi naman. Alam nyo, it's the investors and the big businessmen. Akala mo lagi nasa bahay? Hindi. There are always a lot of business discussions happen not at home, not at the office or yung place of business. Usually nagkakausapan sila over dinner. And do you think the dinner will ng mga wealthy pangmasa? Of course, the wealthy businessmen from abroad, they'll probably be eating, fancy restaurant things, no, or over a round of golf, no. So, but it just so happens ito Formula 1. Where are the wealthy people? It's either they're on the Formula 1 or they're at golf, playing rounds of golf, no. Or even at a country club, no? Hindi yung, I don't know, you cannot simply invite them over to the Philippines or over to Malacanang when they, so ayun ang doon. So protecting the welfare of OFW, he got a plus 65, no? So sumunod, promoting peace in the country, no. 8% of people thought it was one of the three most urgent issues, no. Itong promoting peace in the country. So it's about 69% approved, 24% said they're undecided, and ayun, no, 7 ang nag-disapprove. So here's the net approval rating is plus 62% on that issue, no. So that's 4 out of 13, no. And fighting criminality, no. I think ito 19% ang nagsabi this is one of the 3 most urgent issues. I think this is a maraming this is a what do you call this, a holdover. And kasi I think it's one of the biggest focuses of the previous administration ni former President Rodrigo Duterte was fighting criminality, and contributed to a lot of peace and order, which eventually led to business. Panira lang talaga yung pandemic, no? But so 19% said it was one of the three most urgent issues, no? And there's a 67% of those interviewed, 67% approved, 24% undecided, and 9% disapproved. No? So this is a plus 58% net approval rating. So mataas pa din, no? So enforcing, ito yung pinaka pang-anim na to, no? Enforcing the law on all, whether influential or ordinary people, no? 12% thought this was one of the three most urgent issues, no? And there's a 62% approval, 30% ang undecided, and 9% disapproved. No? So far, we're having single digit lang yung mga disapproval. Medyo malaki-laki lang yung porsyento ng undecided. No? So, ang net approval rating is plus 53. By the way, ang computation dito is approve minus disapprove. Yung undecided kasi, hindi siya binibilang dun sa net approval rating. Yun nga lang, dahil sa taas ng undecided, yung net approval rating isn't as high as you would like it to be. But perhaps in the coming months, no, or at least by the next survey, this might change for the better. No? Okay. We are now at number 7. Issue number 7. Ito medyo malaki-laki, no? Creating more jobs. 35% said this is one of the three most urgent issues. No? Talaga naman, no? Creating jobs is a very, very important thing to contribute to employment rates, and to and the creation of jobs also means that may pumapasok na mga businesses, bagong businesses, and more jobs for people, no? So creating more jobs, 59% approved, no? 29% undecided, and 12% disapproved, no? So this is the first among let's see here, among 6 issues na nag-double digit ang disapproved, no? So 59 approved, 29 undecided, and 12% disapproved. So we have a plus 47% net approval rating. Okay, stopping, ito yung ilan na to? Pang-8. Stopping the destruction and abuse of our environment. No? 9% thought this was one of the three most urgent issues. And tungkol dito, 57% approved of this issue, 32% undecided, no? And 11% disapproved, with a net approval rating of 46%. No? Ang sumunod, ito'y pang-siyam. Yeah, pang-siyam na to, no? Increasing the pay of workers. Naku, mataas-taas to. 44% ng mga itanong feel that this is one of the three most urgent issues, no? And I think this is related to what's been happening with the economy, the global economy lately. No, but let's get to that later. No, we have about 59% approved. No, matataas naman yung approval eh. Nga lang, marami rin hindi, medyo marami din ng undecided. No? So, 13% disapproved. So, we have a net satisfaction, net approval rating of 46%. Again, no, for plus 46 ulit. Okay. Ang susunod ngayon ay fighting graft and corruption in government. 22% of those feel this is one of the three most urgent issues. No? But let me just tell you, yung creating more jobs is actually the third of the most urgent issue. No? So graft and fighting graft and corruption, yes, it's important. 22% said it's one of the three most urgent issues. But it is not, in this survey, hindi siya yung top 3. No? So 58% approval, 28%, yan na naman po tayo sa 28% undecided, and 13% disapprove. So we have a net approval rating of plus 45% on fighting graft and corruption in government. But you know, we're only on the day 99. So you have to give it a little more time. I'm sure mayroon pang madadali dyan na mga corrupt. Okay, issue number 11. Defending the integrity of Philippine territory against foreigners. Only 5% said it was one of the three most urgent issues. And doon sa mga naitanong, 52% approved, 40% undecided, at 9% disapproved for a net net approval rating of about 43%. So we'll talk about satisfaction and trust rating later. Let me just continue with this one. Ayun, dito na tayo sa increasing reducing the poverty of many Filipinos. 34% thought it was the three most urgent issues. No? 39% approved. Medyo mababa dito. And 35% are undecided, 26% disapprove. So medyo mababa tayo si Marcos administration dito sa portion na to with a plus 13% approval. Mababa na yan. No? Okay, let me just recap. Although top 3 ang hinahanap dito, I'll give you the top 5. No? So yung mga na may naitanong, 44% ang nagsabi increasing pay of workers. That's at number 2. At number 3, creating more jobs, 35%. Reducing the poverty of many Filipinos, 34% thought it was one of the 3 most urgent issues. 22% din ang fighting graft and corruption in government. So I just gave you a recap of number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, number 2 is increasing pay of workers. Number 3 is creating more jobs. Number 4, reducing the poverty of many Filipinos. And number 5 is fighting graft and corruption in government. Okay, so the top most urgent issue among Filipinos surveyed, 66% felt controlling inflation is the most urgent issue of the day. No? 31% approve, 27% disapprove, and 42% disapprove. No? So we have a negative 11, or in short, minus 11 ang net approval rating. This isn't even actually an approval. This is disapproval. No? So, controlling inflation naman, I think this is not entirely the Marcos administration fault, no? Or it's actually kapapasok lang naman nila, no? Day 99 today. So tomorrow is day 100. So yung controlling inflation kasi alam naman natin doon nagsimula sa doon nagsimula doon sa Russia and Ukraine war. No? Fuel started going up. I think it was, at that time it was about 50 pesos. No? 51 pesos yung per liter ng diesel. No? At mas mahal pa nga ang gasoline at that time. It was about 51, kung 51 yan, gasoline was about 53, 54. So, ngayon naiba na, nabaliktad na nga. No? So, but because of yung gera, no? And everybody is jittery about these things because Russia is a very, very big supplier of oil. And also a very big supplier of natural gas, no, to Europe. No? So you get, and then you have Americans. The Americans or the President Biden starts calling for sanctions, and then unfortunately, there is many of the countries of the EU and the European countries are also doing the same. So yung oil, they're actually depriving themselves of oil in the name of sanctions, in the name of So pero business has to go on. We cannot we cannot do anything much about it because we're not a oil-producing country, no? Meron man tayo oil reserves, it's negligible, no? And yung ating pinag-uusapan pa is the dollar is strengthening, no? Dahil nag-inflation din sa Amerika. And because of that, tumataas din yung dollar and syempre may exchange rate yun. So that means the pesos, and in fact, hindi lang peso, no? Even the British pound, the euros, they're all shrinking in value, no? Hindi lang Pilipinas, no? Many Asian countries are hit, even the European countries are hit, no? I'm sure even the African countries are hit, no? By this in the South American countries. We're looking at a global inflation and we're also looking at a global recession. Ibig sabihin ng recession, halimbawa nag-negative yung growth, no, ng economy. Tapos on the next quarter, ganun pa rin nag-negative, ang tawag ng recession na. No? So controlling inflation is something that really hits hard on incomes, no? Especially mga fixed income earners, no? Kung yung income nila cannot catch up with the inflation rate, no? Which is last September at 6.9%. So halimbawa yung you are earning, let's say, 10,000. I mean, just to, ano lang, to make it, make computation easy. No? So if your inflation is 6.9%, no? Edi dapat, kaso yung kinikita mo, 10,000 pa rin. No? Sabihin na natin mga 7%, 6.97. So, ilan yung 7% dun sa 10,000 mo? No. So, that would have been an extra 700 pesos. So, your income is still the same, but prices had essentially prices and have gone up a little bit, no? So in fact, hindi pa lang a little bit on other nung ano, may mga items na talaga tumaas, no? Just like sugar, I think yung 70 pesos na sugar, si Robinson Supermarket lang ang nakita kong gumawa nun, no? At saka hindi pa yung ano, hindi yung ano yung kanilang sariling generic brand pa, no, which I think it is Sure Buy. Then ayun. So the rest, kahit tumingin ka pa sa ibang supermarkets, no? No, the big supermarket chains all over the country. Sugar still very high, no? And pati yung mga onions, no? Onions, ang taas-taas ng presyo. So, and even, you know, yung mga, even some of the goods, no? Mga canned goods, no? Medyo tumaas na rin ng konti as of now. As of the last time I checked, no? So, ayun ang ano, hindi rin natin kontrolado, no? We are affected by global inflation, global problems in the economy. And when oil prices go up, no? Tatamaan din talaga lahat because you have to transport goods. You have to transport people. So kaya pag itong mga fuel kasi pag tumaas, tumataas din na ang presyo ng lahat. Kaya itong number 2 issue, aside from controlling inflation, increasing the pay of workers, no? Bakit naman naging ano? So actually merong the government has can review yung tinatawag na minimum wage. Minimum wage, they can set actually minimum wage for regions, no? For example, Metro Manila, no? So yan ang ating pinag-usapan na ngayon, no? So medyo disappointing din kasi namana lang to eh. But it's something that's going on with the world, kaya tinamaan din tayo. But naintindihan ko rin, many of our Filipinos do not understand how the economy or the global economy works. Basta naintindihan lang niya yung sarili niyang bulsa, no, sarili niyang wallet is taking a hit, no? Magugulat na lang yung kinikita mo, hindi namang lumalaki, pero tumataas ang presyo. So your net disposable income is getting smaller, no? So in value. So ayan, let's go and take a look at approval ratings and trust ratings ng ating mga heads of government. Okay, let me go back to that portion where there it is. Okay, so ang ating Ayan. According to Publicus Asia, yung ating approval rating ng ating mga government officials or the heads of government, here it is, no? At 66%, leading the way, 66% approval rating is our Vice President and concurrent Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte. She got 66%. Next, at 62% is President Bongbong Marcos. Approval rating, no? So it's a pretty good number, no? Sumunod, no, at 50% approval rating is si Migs Zubiri, no? He's the Senate President, no? So he got 50% approval rating. Next, we have let's see here. Yun, si Speaker Martin Romualdez, no? Speaker Martin Romualdez is 46%, no, sa kanyang approval rating. And dahil hindi gaano nakikita yung Supreme Court, they're not as active, no, as in the news compared to Sara Duterte, Bongbong Marcos, Mig Zubiri, and Martin Romualdez, no. Alexander Gesmundo, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, got about 41%. Ayun, no. Then we'll talk about trust rating, no. How much do you trust your government officials or elect these government officials? Trust rating, Sara Duterte is 62%. President Bongbong Marcos is 58% trust rating. Si Mig Zubiri, 41% trust rating. Martin Romualdez, 39% trust rating. And Alexander Gesmundo, 35% trust rating. So these are our usual things that are asked in the surveys, especially during the first 100 days. No? So ayun, for me, yung 100 days, or at least it's day 99, yung one of the things that the accomplishments are investment pledges, no, from Indonesia, Singapore, and as well as from the United States, no. It wasn't exactly a meeting or a state visit, but let me just adjust this. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not exactly a state visit, no. But this was a meeting between world leaders. Doon sa sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Let's not talk about how many are in attendance, because it's mostly online now, those who are watching, and on closed circuit TV. So I think it was about trying to get foreign investments into the country. And also, isa rin sa mga naging no, so well, we've already discussed the response to Karding, and we've also had discussions regarding Well, it was I think nothing is perfect, no? Nothing is perfect. So that fiasco with the sugar uh, uh, ordering 300,000 metric tons of sugar. So meron ding kasi may sugar shortage daw. So uh, and also, siyempre, meron din tayong konting disappointments. We saw si COA chair si Jose Calida resign because of a medical problem. I hope he feels better and gets better very soon. Also, another disappointment is nawala din nag-resign si Trixie Cruz Angeles as press secretary. But hopefully, President Bongbong Marcos will find a press secretary soon, very capable and talented. And although ang alam ko si Cheloy is from the LTFRB has resigned and got appointed as a undersecretary and OIC of the office of the press secretary. So so far, yun ang developments for now. No? So I feel that the state visits and the response to Carding was the most prominent feature of the first 99 days. Pero I really would like to see President Marcos's administration succeed. But I certainly hope makukumpleto na niya yung kanyang cabinet secretaries, no? Kasi so there are still some who are on an OIC basis, no? Or parang hindi naman talaga appointed, parang OIC ka lang muna, you're in charge for now, parang he hasn't chosen some, no? But na-bypass din yung I think there are 12 who got bypassed and because hindi dahil sa tinanggihan pero kundi ito'y dahil naubusan na ng oras, nag-recess na ang Congress at dahil senators and congressmen ang nandyan, pag nag-recess yan, recess din yung commission on appointments. So pag wala kang nakuhang confirmation, you're considered bypassed and you have to the president has to reappoint you again on a ad interim, no? So unless tinanggihan ka talaga so ng CA, tuloy ang reappointment, no? So ito lang yun. Si Vice President and Secretary of Education, si Sara Duterte, for me, as Vice President, nakita ko yung, meron kasi siyang what do you call this? Mga extension office. No? Something that previous Vice Presidents have not done. No? Excuse me. Yung nagkaroon ng recently I was in Cebu, nakita ko mismo yung Office of the Vice President Visayas satellite, no? Diyan sa Cebu, no? And I think there's one in there's also one in Leyte, no? And I'm not sure kung meron din sa ibang lugar, no? But there's one here in Quezon City, na Office of the Vice President, Disaster Operation Center, no? Ay, nakita ko mismo, may truck na, nakahiram siya ng truck ng PNP, no? Si Vice President nakahiram ng PNP truck, no? Punong-puno ng relief goods, no? Papuntang Abra. That was a time na nagkaroon ng lindol doon sa Abra, no? And I remember maraming aftershocks na malalakas din doon, no? Especially with our friends, even those in Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur are feeling it. So, as Secretary of Education, nag-set siya ng deadline, no? Although hindi is in less than a month, no? All high schools and grade schools should be 100%, no? 100% face-to-face classes. The online or blended learning should end by well, November 1 is a holiday. So I feel na hanggang October 31 lang yung blended learning, no? So yung college naman, yung college kasi yung I think it's CHED, no? So tuloy pa rin yung blended learning if they like, but ayun, hindi kasi covered ng DepEd yun eh. So marami talagang issue na kakaharapin si VP Sec Sara, no? Kailangan we have to improve our system of education where our pupils or students should be able to read already and comprehend, no? They can read, they can write, but they don't really understand what they're reading or writing, no? This is what you call functional literacy. And there are even some students who still cannot read and write at grade 3, grade 4. No? And kaya nga nagkaroon ng senior high school is to dapat employable na sila. No? After senior high school, they can be employed. No? Wherever it is they can be employed in lieu of a vocational subjects or vocational school. So, dapat meron na silang employability at that time, eh. No? So, let's greet some of our viewers, no? Katulad ni Roxanne Costo, James Bardos, good evening. Let's see. Zepi Zabala, good evening. Emeng Estregan, let's see. Si Joshua Buendia from Camarin, Caloocan City, no? This is Caloocan City North. Caloocan is very unique, no? Hati siya, no? Hati siya in between Quezon City. So there's a north and a south, no? Salamat, no? Salamat Emeng sa malaman ang show mo. Buti naman, malaman. Wag lang ako yung masyadong malaman. Okay, so ano din, no? Si Mary's Angel Polenyo. Good evening, Sir Harold. Watching from Hong Kong, HK. So yun. Na marami-rami na tayong pinag-usapan tungkol sa ating 100 days, although day 99 pa lang, hanggang bukas pa to, 100 days. Pero I think it's already almost a foregone conclusion. The highlights were the state visits. Also, yung pagpasok ng investment pledges, no? no? So, ayun. And ayun, we have a very active president. And I really like to see the Marcos administration succeed, and as well as all the cabinet members, no, for them to succeed. And sana tuloy-tuloy, no, and hopefully we get over this, nako, itong from the Russia and Ukraine war, this fuel price. Naku, I mean, naalala ko pa yung fuel price. Naku, mukhang magkakaroon tayo ng price increase na naman. Medyo malaki-laki sa diesel, no? Diesel talaga. Bakit ganyan? Dati-rati yung diesel is mas mura kaysa gasolina. Ngayon, bumaliktad ng mundo. Diesel na ngayon ang mas mahal, no? And kaya tatamaan talaga maraming sa ating mga masa. Dahil jeepneys are diesel, no? And to think yung diesel nila is engines are mga surplus that came out of the 1990s, that came out of the 1980s. Naku, wala namang ano doon. Wala namang fuel saving economy technology sa mga makina yun that sa panahon na yun. So kaya hindi na ganyan ka fuel efficient, mas mahal pa yung fuel. Okay, so ang ating bago tayong magpaalam for this week, we'll just recap lang natin, no? So we were talking about first 100 days, the state visits and the investment pledges were the biggest highlights for me. Karon din yung kay Sarah, nagkaroon ng extension office yung mga OVP, extension offices, and she's also looking to find a place where na magiging permanent na yung residence ng Office of the Vice President, no? And ganun din yung Secretary of Education, bumalik na ang face-to-face at marami pa siyang iintindihin dun sa DepEd. So, napag-usapan na rin natin yung approval rating, trust rating ng mga at mga issues for the day. So, I hope you guys enjoyed listening in. And as much as I enjoyed discussing these matters with you. All right, so it's a weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and I say good night, and God bless. Enjoy the weekend.